I am Mama Ducks, Baby Duck, Mr. No Ducks himself, quack, quack. But watch this though. Hey, Danhausen had a few segments on tonight's SmackDown as well, man. One of the segments, well, pretty all of them was kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? One of the segments, he's sitting at a table backstage with a sign-up sheet. He's looking for a tag team partner because y'all know that Danhausen has a match against the Miz and Kip Wilson, and he's looking for a tag team partner. They haven't announced to us who his tag team partner is, right? So on this backstage segment, I got the audio for y'all. We're gonna play the audio and then I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts on it. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened in the backstage segment after that. And then we're gonna be out of the way with the Danhausen segment and we're gonna get into the main event, the actual funeral of the gingerbread man who the whole show was about the entire night, and we're gonna see how they wrap that up. But let's do this Danhausen segment first. But watch this though.
Whoa! Who wants to sign up?
Well, look who it is.
Who? Hey, you guys can't sign up. I'm not trying to sign up.
What? Did we beat you so bad last week that you had to cry to Nick Aldis to get a tag team match? But you can't even find a tag team partner. Look, kid.
Kid, wake up! Stop looking yourself in the mirror.
No tag partners. Surprise, you are toxic. Oh, looks like Backlash is going to happen a little early.
Hey, what's that?
Miz, let's think of the Miz method. Let's know that we are two emotionally mature men that can wait to destroy you tomorrow at Backlash. But Backlash isn't going to happen because he has no friends.
Hey, I got friends. I have Papa Shango and Curly Man and Bob over there. Bob? Yeah, the catering guy.
They can't be your tag team partners in catering. The only person toxic enough to team with Danhausen is Danhausen.
Wow! Great idea.
We beat the curse up, came and disappeared.
All right. So as y'all see, the Miz and Kip Wilson walk up on him. They messing with him, telling him he ain't gonna never find no tag team partner. The only person who would team with Danhausen is Danhausen. So later on in the segment, after that, y'all seen Family Matters? Y'all know who Steve Urkel is? Y'all remember Steve Urkel had this chamber in his basement to where he could clone people, and he came up with it because he was a nerdy dude, but when he stepped inside the machine to clone himself, he would come out as like the coolest dude ever. Well, Danhausen had somewhat of that type of machine backstage in his little lair. He had this little spot where he was mixing together all these chemicals and pouring them in the beaks and in the tubes. He was going to the computer, typing in all kind of information and data and all this stuff. And he was trying to get the machine to work. And he ended up tapping on all the liquids, and it started some kind of spontaneous combustion. But the spontaneous combustion made the machine come on. So the machine started working, it started blooping, 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 and all this stuff. All of a sudden, the machine stopped working. It had broke. And Danhausen cursed, like he cussed. He was like, ouch. You know what I'm saying? So he was getting a little frustrated about it, but he said, okay, let me get back to work, mixing some more elixirs and typing in on the computer to try to get the machine back fixed. I'm wondering who it's going to be, man. I heard that Kevin Owens ain't nowhere near coming back, man, but I don't know how true that is. I'm hoping it's Kevin Owens or somebody like that. I've really been racking my brain trying to think of who the individual could be. Even though I would want it to be Kevin Owens, I would rather for Kevin Owens to come back serious rather than being put in some kind of comedic role. I also thought about Kip Wilson partner. Y'all remember Kip Wilson used to have a partner, but he ended up getting hurt. I didn't hear anything about him getting released, so he is still on the roster. So it could be him or potentially, and then we still got, NXT call-ups as well. So it could be a numerous of people that's coming from NXT being called up to the main roster. Who knows? I don't know. I thought that the segments were Danhausen. You know, they Danhausen. Everybody loved Danhausen. Everybody gets the gimmick. Everybody understands the character. So, you know me, I'm definitely not gonna say anything bad about something like that. Especially when the WWE universe is into something. If I'm not into it, I get into it just because y'all into it. But this is not one of those moments. I think we all love Danhausen. I think we all appreciate what he brings to the IWC, you know, the wrestling community as a whole, man. If you love Danhausen, I would say that you would probably want to go out of your way to watch this. But watch this though.